of captivity. And to the republic for which it stands, I dip it in kerosene and stick it up the ass of you-know-who and light it. One nation, under God, or else. One nation, under psychopathic Pentagon gangsters, whose idea of national security is concentration camps for people who use drugs that the government supplies themselves. One nation under Wall Street. If the cops and the government are all crooks, I might as well be one too. One nation of sedated tabloid robots who actually believe what they see on TV and would ask what they think about it, say, I don't care. One nation drowning in its own garbage, indivisible from the fall of Rome, with liberty and justice for all who can afford it. Burn, baby, burn. Old Glory, the Yankee swastika. Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn. Whenever I see you, I see red. Whenever I see you, I see red. If the communist countries can do it, why can't we? Throw the bastards out and try some real democracy. Run not by rich people, not by military and spook people, not by sons of senators, sons of senators, sons of senators, sons. Have you noticed how the more they give people back their freedom over there, the more they take it away over here? So now, before it's too late to even talk about shit like this, be a good patriot. Take the swastika, the Yankee swastika, and let it burn, 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 burn. Ever thought of what a sadomasochistic culture we really have? How much of our emotional pulse really revolves around pain? How many people cling to grim religions based on torture, afraid to break the cycle out of fear of the unknown? It's so much more secure just to hate your own guts. Break down, kneel down, confess, and remember what's going to happen to you if you don't. It's a crime to open your eyes. It's a sin to look around and explore too far. Threats from above to keep people whipped. Sadomasochism on a stick. And what do we talk about at parties to get attention? Pleasure? Love? We talk about pain, like showing off the busted leg to the chums at the ski lodge. Or, look at all these gnarly scars I got when I wiped out on my skateboard. War wounds, pain, the proof of purchase of adventure. I crashed and burned, therefore I am alive. When was the last time any of you heard someone reminisce about the orgasm they had the other day? And what kind of reaction do you think they get anyway? You say that at a department store, some other church of your choice will be, ooh, perfect, I'm arrested. Or at Gilman Street it might be, you sexist. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of what hip-hop artists like Ice-T have to say about women, but I do think Ice-T has a real good point. Imagine what our life might be like if we all felt relaxed enough and comfortable around each other that a person of either sex could approach someone else of either sex that they might find attractive, radiant, lovable, and say, let's get butt naked and fuck. And if the other person said, no, I don't want to, it wouldn't be such a big, tense, shattering, horrible, degrading letdown of a deal. The stakes wouldn't be so goddamn high and rejection wouldn't hurt so bad and the other person could just say, okay, that's fine, let's just be friends. Sure would eliminate a lot of uptight, stupid games. And that's why a lot of artists who deal openly with sex are being dealt with as political subversives. So you talk about that stuff and you wear it today and the other people around you might cringe a little bit and grow a little uncomfortable and turn their heads and hunt frantically in the corner of their eye. Won't someone change the subject to something? Change it to anything else? Elvis! No, not even Elvis. Elvis might be alive if he just heard this, modestly speaking. It's just too taboo to talk pleasure in this arena. The person who does will receive the pain of being shunned. Thus, the lesson is implanted. Fear is the teacher. Next time, think, feel, and act in ways the others can relate to. Tales of wigging out on drugs won't make people quite so jealous. Don't fight the current or you could be swept out to sea. Remember what sells versus what is untouchable. Avoid the hurt that comes with feeling icky. And filter your desires through our orbit of pain. Speaking of the draft, that this summer the U.S. Army was used in a war operation against the American people for the first time in American history. Right up in Humboldt County. Full battle gear, combing through the mountains heroically with their guns. It was almost as though a war was going on, especially for the mountain people in the cabins who had their doors kicked in and rifles put up against their heads and wondered why. Who was the enemy in this war? Not the Soviets, not even George Bush, not even Saddam Hussein or even the Spotted Owl or Earth First. No, the enemy they called out the army to put down and do it as secretly as possible was a plant. The marijuana plant. Bivouacking, they actually did find a few and pulled them up and brought in a few more from their own little stash when the TV cameras were there. The U.S. Army sent to war against the American people, us. Of course, the excuse was drug war. That war is okay. We're supposed to feel relieved and secure and protected. From what? A lot of people with more guts than I'll ever have risked their life and limb all summer up in Humboldt County to try and save some of the last virgin forests we have left from being chopped down and made into toilet paper in the Weekly World News. On the other side, the loggers say, what about our jobs? What about our families? What about our lives? You needed wood and cardboard to make your Earth First protest signs. We need fuel, we need paper, it's almost gone. Where will we get more? The answer for centuries has been right under our nose. Grow more pot! Believe me, I seem real weird saying that because I used to be a pothead. It's part of my life I really like to forget. It reminds me of freezing in the corner and being surrounded by all these burnout, low-energy deadheads and things. But, nevertheless, if we're serious about saving the Earth and the ozone and our own freedom to go about saving the Earth and the ozone, we could start by paying all those shit-poor South American coca farmers and disenfranchised loggers and Midwest family farmers to grow more pot! Why? Get ready for this. Some of you know this already, but a lot of people, get ready for this. Before the 20th century, the marijuana plant provided almost all the world's paper, all the world's textiles, and all the world's rope. You can make 4 times as much paper from an acre of marijuana hemp plants as you can from an acre of trees. And 1/4, we'll get to that, and 1/4 the cost of making wood pulp paper with 1/5 the pollution. The Romans grew it. Henry VIII required farmers to grow it because they knew that the strongest natural fiber there is for making rope and clothing and ship sails is to grow more pot. And we did too. Guess what Levi's were originally made out of? Guess what the American flag used to be made out of? Guess what the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution are written on? Gutenberg Bible too. They couldn't have done it without. Guess what you can power a car with? You can get at least 4 times as much cellulose for gasohol or methanol from hemp stems as you can from a corn stalk. Which along with solar energy would be a great way to avoid going to war for oil companies in Saudi Arabia. I mean, I want Saddam Hussein as an entertainer. Anybody who would substitute his own face for Mickey Mouse on watches is interesting. And methanol in a car or an engine doesn't pollute. It burns off only carbon dioxide and water vapors.
What's that?
In the 20s, what's that? We now have the generation that not only believes what they see on TV, but believes what they see on MTV. Water vapor is what you're breathing right now. In the 20s and the 30s, most American cars and farm machinery had the option of running on gas or on methanol. Most racing cars still run on methanol. Washington and Jefferson grew cannabis on their plantation and smoked it too. In the 1760s, in the American colonies, you could be jailed for not growing pot. And hemp seeds are an even better source of protein than soybeans, and cheaper too, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It's been used successfully to treat glaucoma and relieve people suffering pain from pollution-caused cancer that might not be so polluted if we grew more pot. And guess what the parachute was made out of that Mr. Hootaman drug war George Bush used when he bailed out the bomber in World War II? Hemp was illegal by then, but that didn't stop the U.S. military from growing it in the colonies in the Philippines. So, how did everything get so turned around so damn bad? Doesn't it strike you as a little dumb that we depend on burning oil and choke ourselves and we chop down all our trees and wreck innocent people's lives and throw them in jail or in boot camp and make crack easier to get them pot in the process when we don't have to?
Don't talk shit about crack!
Meanwhile, the police chief of LA gets front page approval for telling a Senate committee that all pot smokers should be shot on sight. Why was marijuana cracked down on, and why was it done so violently? Well, ready? In 1936, none other than Popular Mechanics magazine, which has always been good for collage art, hailed the invention of a new hemp processing machine and predicted that hemp would once again become the world's largest cash crop. This did not sit at all well with people like Hearst Paper Manufacturing Division or Kimberly-Clark or other cutthroat multinationals with large timber holdings. Didn't sit well with the tobacco barons for obvious reasons. And it sure didn't sit well with our old buddies at DuPont. Hemp processing uses only 1/5 of the chemicals needed to process wood pulp. And DuPont had just patented a new wood pulp sulfide process. And DuPont's patented plastic fibers had replaced hemp as the number 2 fiber next to cotton, and they wanted to keep it that way.
If they're still alive, kill them!
The last thing the drug companies wanted was to lose their share of the ever-lucrative disease industry market to medicine made from marijuana. Because you can't own a patent in this country made from natural ingredients. You can only own and make money off a patent made from chemicals. Maybe that's why there's no cure for cancer or AIDS.
There you go. That's probably not it.
And guess who owns Congress?
Heroin!
No, marijuana doesn't own Congress. Well, marijuana was outlawed in 1937. Need I say more about why our beloved fearless leaders censor our access to information so much? Can you imagine the mass outrage that would happen if these kind of facts were found out? And people knew how easily each one of us individually could turn our ecological and societal crisis around and eliminate the supposed need for oil and drug wars and see real progress in a year or less just by saying fuck you to William Bennett and George Bush? And that the very companies that provide us with such necessities as Kleenex, paper towels, and junk mail have rather brutally rearranged every one of our lives so that we're literally wiping our ass with our own future, when it doesn't even have to be that way.
Can we smoke our mail?
Thank you. Now for an encore. Willie, please go to the entrance. Someone is looking for you. Signed, Lucy. That's my encore, so Willie, get out there. Kleenex.